here. I'm going to put in a turn-off valve on my water softener so that if I ever have to take the water softener out, I can at least turn that valve on to allow the water to go in through the house without having to shut the water down in the house for an extended period of time while you disconnect the water softener. So I've got a water softener we put in, and here's my supply. Comes in up through here, and the plumber that helped me with this came up, and we put the tubes too close together here, but it comes up, so we put a disconnect valve here or a turn-off valve here to shut this line off going into the water softener. And then we have our return line coming back out and coming down, and we put another turn-off valve there. So we can shut everything off to the water softener. But the problem I have is if I have to take this water softener out, then I do not have a way other than just turning these valves off. I can disconnect everything here, but I do not have any water going into the house. So what I want to do is cut this line here, and what I want to do is put a T in here. Then I will put a piece of tubing on it, come up here, put an elbow on, run over here and cut this line and put a T in there. Then I'll have my valve, which is here, and I'll have that valve sitting this way, so that way it won't get hit by anything and it'll be in the off position. So when I want to, if I have to ever take out this water softener, then turn this valve to on, turn these valves to off, and the water will go into the house without going through the water softener. So that's my plan. So we'll get started on this, and I'll let you follow along with me. Okay, we're going to get started. I've got the supply line cut off. I've got my two valves above here, which you probably won't be able to see. They're turned off, so the only water I've got is in this section of the hose from here to here. So I'm going to cut my supply line going into the house. I'll probably catch some water. So we caught that water. So now we're going to cut the other side that I've marked as to where my T's going to go in. So we're going to cut that section of pipe out. So I've got that out of the way. Now, what I'm using are these crimp rings. They're, I think they're copper or brass crimp rings, which I use for the PEX crimper. So I'm going to put that on each side to make sure they're on there before I put the T in. So then I'll get my T, and I'll put my T in here. Slide that on like so, and then put my crimp rings up to, they say within an 1/8 of an inch of the end of the tube. So I'll do that. Then I'll take my PEX crimper, and this is a 3/4 inch pipe, so I want to use the big crimp tool. There's one side. Now to get the other side. I've got those crimped. Let me get my gauge. With these crimpers, there's a gauge, and it's 3/4 inch go or 3/4 inch no go. So it fits right over it. This is, so I'm in there. So I got, so it fits. So that's means it's crimped tight. So I won't have to worry about that. Now, need to cut this other one, put a T up here. Should have had a valve open. Put my crimp rings on. Push those down, push those up. We'll leave that there for right now, and then I'm going to come back and crimp those. Had a little, had to turn the water spigot on in the house, or water, open up a valve inside the house to take the pressure off that was coming out of this. Got that, so I'm just putting everything back together now. I got a crimp ring on there. Put a crimp ring here for this this elbow. Sometimes they don't want to fit too easy, especially when the PEX pipe has been in the cold for a while. It's not too pliable. So we'll get this on there. There we go. Get that on there. Okay, so now I've got to figure out how much hose I need from here to here and from here to here. So I got my tape. I couldn't find my my little regular tape measure, so I ended up getting a folding rule I had in the house. So looks like 6 inches on a piece of pipe, but then I'm going to be taking away a good inch for the valve. So I'll need to cut me a piece of hose, at least 5, to mark this and cut this. Right about, cut it a little long. I do have more if I need it, but okay. So if I was just putting this in, this would work perfect for that. But, so I've got to cut out the middle. So I need to mark this. But what I'm going to do is mark in the center where I need to take out, which I need to take out this amount to allow for that valve. So we'll cut that out. There we go. Put this back on here. Crimp ring there, crimp ring there. Always got to talk myself through this stuff, so make sure I don't get a crimp ring left off anywhere. So I can put this over here. And then put my elbow in there and turn that the way I want it. Pull those back just a smidge. About 1/8 of an inch is all you want. And then I got to crimp that one. Okay, so now we will crimp everything up. The other side of the elbow, I'm sorry, the T. There we go. Panel box, didn't want it to kick on at any time. So now, oh, I forgot one. There we go. That's what happens when you forget a crimp. No leaks, except for whatever spewed out at me. But that's how, like I say, this is the first time PEX user by myself, so you can see it does take just a little bit of to do this using PEX instead of copper or whatever. Of course, the house is only 5 years old, so using the PEX, because that's what most people are using nowadays. If it was copper, I wouldn't even have touched it, due to the fact that you got to sweat those joints and clean up the ends and make sure there's no grease on those fittings and whatever, and get that all soldered back in there. So that's the reason I use PEX. But as you can see, it's all set up. It's all in here now. I've got these valves turned back on, so water is going into the water softener and coming back out into the house. So now that I have this valve here, like I say, if I ever want to remove this water softener, all I have to do is turn my supply line off at the bottom, turn these 2 lines off, and then turn this line on to the house, then turn my supply line back on, and then all the water will go into the house around the water softener. And the water softeners come with a bypass, but anyway, these are your bypasses here. But the problem you got is when you take this off in order to replace your water, say I wanted to get a different water softener than what I have, then I at that point I am at the mercy of not having any water supply to the house. This way I can go right around it and not have to worry about it. Or if this fails and I can't get someone to come down and take care of it for me, at least I can go back to my old water supply and not have to worry about it. So anyway, that's the reason I've used PEX. It's a lot easier. As long as you get all your crimps, your crimping done at the joints, you're in good shape. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Look on the right hand side of the screen and you'll see another video you might like to watch, plus my picture if you wanted to subscribe. So hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day. Enjoyed it. Appreciate y'all. Bye-bye.